Welcome to I Want to Work There, where we are sharing perspectives on how colleges and universities can take their reputations to the next level with strategies to boost their employer brand. And we're talking about talent attraction, talent experience, and talent retention. And our January topic is the impact of the right hire. Joining me is someone who, we've spoken to him before, Walter Kimbrough. He's the interim president of Talladega College, former president at Dillard University and Philander Smith College, now Philander Smith University. And Dr. Kimbrough, thank you so much for joining me again. So give us an example of how the right hire made a positive impact on an employer's reputation, and tell me why it was me. I'm joking. So what you got?
So and when I thought about it, I went back to Philander Smith College. It's a United Methodist institution because Arkansas and Little Rock has very few United Methodist churches. Most pastors have what they call a 2 or 3 point charge. You might have a church here, you might do some of this. So when I got there, our chaplain had her own church and she was our chaplain, but it really wasn't a good fit. She didn't really engage with the students well. Her church wasn't really thriving. And her church was not the church that was on campus. There is a church in the center of campus, and they had just hired this new dynamic pastor. And I went to the bishop to say, look, we got this guy who was right here. Let him be the chaplain for the college. He has a church, could get students to go to church on campus, all of those kinds of things. Everybody said it's a win-win for everybody. So that became part of his 2 point charge, his church. But it was for him, it's still all there together. He's on the campus every day because the church is there every day. And you had somebody who had this energy, who wanted to engage with students. And it really boosted the culture of that campus, the level of care that you see on that campus, the number of students who joined that church, who are still active in that church. I mean, I got there in 2004, and I think we hired Reverend Yao 2005, 2006. And he's still in both roles. But it's a special place. So even like being at Dillard, my wife and I sometimes would talk about Dillard students and say, yeah, that's like Philander, because the culture there is so strong in terms of caring. We recently had one of our graduates who died, young graduate. He came in as a freshman my first year there, started the choir, did a lot of really good things. I was a part of the mentorship of the chaplain. And so he died recently. He was a young man, less than 40 years old. But you saw a lot of students from that time go to Memphis to that funeral. They came from out of town. They came from everywhere because that was the culture that was built, this sort of supercharged, caring culture. So all the things we talk about in terms of what colleges should be, and I don't like HBCUs to say family as much, but on that campus, it really is. It's family environment. But he has a lot to do with it. And I just tell people there was, particularly during this funeral period of time for the young man who died, his name was Jeremy Carter. All three of us happen to be alphas as well, but it's just like Jeremy was that first student that came in who helped change the culture. But the chaplain, Reverend Yao, was a big piece. I don't think we could have done what we did at Philander during that time without him. So that was, to me, in terms of changing culture, that did it. You could see it immediately.
I love the fact that in your response, you mentioned culture multiple times, because I think a lot of times we miss how, when we are making hires, what they can do for a culture or what they're going to do to work against the culture. But then also, you had this missing piece and then realized that there was alignment in a piece that was already there that could really serve the institution really well. I love the fact that this is somebody who you already knew had the will to do it, but then also had the energy to come in and really fill a role and to do some great work. And then on top of that, you got some immediate results with students attending the services and that sort of thing. And for a faith-based institution, that piece is extremely, extremely important and a huge part of the culture. So that was some really, really great stuff. And I really appreciate you, Dr. Kimbrough, as always. Thanks a bunch. You can find out more about Walter Kimbrough by going to the show notes, and make sure you follow, like, and share this video in the I Want to Work There playlist. We're going to share more insights to help your campus be the place where great people want to work. Thanks again, Doc.
All right, thanks.